Welcome back to Ghostman and Rivera's Horror Show Podcast, Episode 12.
I'm Mike Ghostman Pickle.
And I'm James Rivera. The full Slender Man trailer drops.
Yay.
Man.
You went to the theater to see Unfriended Dark Web?
Yes, I did. And I surprised myself. And it turns out I actually like the sequel a lot more than the first one.
What? That's
a
surprise.
It kind of peters out towards the last 15 minutes. It kind of starts going a little bit too much. But I thought this was a much more realistic movie because it has nothing to do with the original one. It has nothing to actually do with being unfriended on social media. So I don't think the title even applies.
Okay.
This is about what's really scary about the internet, about what people do on the dark web, the way that people sell murder.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
like
the
human
dark web is
trafficking and
something very
childhood-
real.
Yeah.
But it was decent enough.
Decent.
I enjoyed it.
You okay there, Michael?
Yeah, I banged myself.
Oh, wow. So
What's you watch next? Zach Bagans and his crew on Ghost Hunters, they're known for not hiding their fear.
Yeah.
So I think it kind of made it a little scarier that these people were genuinely scared, and where the father in Dr. Amorth was more clinical.
the woman who's possessed, the Italian woman named Christina, she makes some pretty guttural sounding demonic noises where I'm like, I can't tell if that's ADR or not. I hope it's not, because that's kind of, to me, that would be a little bit of a cheap way to do it. But she sounds pretty demonic, and the things that she says don't sound like things that would come from a normal person's mouth.
Yeah, and if that was doctored at all, it would make it an illegitimate documentary.
Yeah, it would make it illegitimate. For a while there during the possession scenes, it was pretty intense when he's filming the exorcism, but I was starting to get a little skeptical of the whole thing. So I'm like, is this a trick, or are you just trying to convince us that this is real, or how are you approaching it? But then after they're done with that, he shows it to neuroscientists, psychiatrists, priests, the archbishop. They show it to different people, and they get a really good perspective on it. And I was actually shocked to learn that demonic possession is actually considered a real mental affliction, and it's diagnosed in the DSM.
So the psychiatrist saying it's all in their head, but they were also saying that it's a physical affliction as well, like the mental state affects their physicality. Mm-hmm. But they didn't explain the voice. And so do you think that she thought that she was possessed? Do you think she was faking it? Or do you think she was caught up in the hysteria?
See, I can't even pretend that I would have an answer to something like that. But one of the things that the psychiatrists and the neuroscientists point out, this type of phenomenon occurs more with people who already hold these beliefs. People who aren't Catholics, who aren't practicing, who don't have any religious beliefs, experience the phenomenon a lot less. And I don't think that's coincidental. It has to be the question of whether your belief system actually put it there.
What about hundreds of years of eyewitness testimony of millions and millions and millions of people? Are you telling me every one of those people are having mental delusions?
I don't think every one of those people. I'm not saying that.
I think a lot of them
people
are.
in the studio laughing. All right. I'm open to the possibility, and it's because of experiences that I've had on my own, that there's something beyond what I see, and I don't know what it is. But I think if it does happen, more often than not, people just think it's something happening that could be explained by something logical.
If you really paid attention, you wouldn't laugh at things like this.
Yeah. But people face diseases and hardships and craziness.
That's what I'm talking about. You're dismissing everything I tell you without addressing all these compounded evidence. This is compounded evidence.
None of this is evidence
within one film. Eyewitness accounts of police, 3 social workers.
Eyewitness counts are not evidence.
That's where we disagree.
Eyewitness counts are not evidence.
That is evidence.
No, it isn't. Your memory can be manipulated very easily based on your emotions.
That's mostly the only evidence of paranormal activity. So you're discounting people just because the story that they're telling you is outrageous.
I'm not discounting them. Okay. I'm just saying that's not evidence.
professional skeptical people who came in at witnessing at the same time, you don't consider a group of professionals seeing the same thing as evidence, as compelling evidence.
That's what they say.
No, but it is evidence. Whether you believe it or not,
That
it is
evidence.
It is evidence.
I don't consider that evidence. Your brain, your memory manipulates...
Eyewitness testimony is evidence in virtually every case.
Yeah, that doesn't prove anything, though. That's not solid evidence that factually
I never
proves
said
anything.
that it proved anything. I was telling you that this is compelling evidence. It wasn't evidence that told me, holy shit, this is demonic. No, it told me because I have an open mind, oh shit, that could be.
I'm not saying that life doesn't have mysteries, Michael. I'm just saying that there's no way to definitively know that, and I'm not ruling it out. I just don't think things are very likely, and that's all I'm saying.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. See, that's the way skeptics get it wrong a lot, where if we start dismissing things like that without exploring it in our minds, we're just closing our minds off, and I don't think we need to.
I know. Sounds
all right,
good.
thanks you guys for joining us on another Ghostman and Rivera's Horror Show podcast. Happy horror.
Happy horror.